Now we're into Acton Road and High Street. Okay, 78 High Street. The carriage house is still there, the cupola is there, but no windmill. This windmill right here, you can clearly see, was an air motor, AER motor. I called, I went on the internet first. The company is still alive and still very, very productive. They'll sell you parts to repair anything after 1888, which is when they started business. They'll sell you a brand new windmill, it looks just like this. And you could, if they still had this, you could still get parts for it. But something happened to this windmill. It didn't last long. I don't know why, but I can show you that in the next picture, they have a Samson windmill. This is a company in Lowell. And this building is now festooned with lightning arresters. So I'm guessing that, that the old air motor bit the dust with a lightning strike. So I talked to John Crawford III. He was very helpful and had some pictures of the house on High Street. Eleanor Parkhurst used to own this house. So some of her archives went to the Crawfords. They were good friends. They actually rented from Eleanor before she passed away in 2000. He told me that there were still remnants. In fact, most of the mechanism for the windmill inside the building was still there. I said, "Can I see it?" He said, "Sure, come on over." So we went inside. This right here is the cistern that the water was stored. It was for the horses. It wasn't for the house. It's a little hard to see, but there's a cable that goes up here. There's a pulley, another pulley. A cable goes down to the first floor. That was a gauge, water gauge, level gauge. So as the float went up, the gauge down below went down. This is a lever right here. The cable goes up. When you pull it, it pulls the sail over so that it's in line with the sail and locks the sail from turning, so the thing isn't going ka-clunka-da-clunka-da-clunka all night while you're sleeping. And you don't want to overfill the tank either. And then there's another cable that goes down to the first floor, so you don't have to go up to pull it. And then there's a chain here and a counterweight here to pull this thing back up when you release it. Then going downstairs, here is, this is called a sucker rod. It's about a 5/8 inch wooden strip that goes all the way from the top. The gearbox converts rotary motion of the wheel to up and down motion of this sucker rod, which runs a pump all the way down in the basement, down into the ground. And they still make them exactly the same way. The design was so amazing, so practical, that it's still in use many places, many parts of the world today. This thing over here, this thing over here is the gauge. Right now the indicator is at the bottom. Normally if the tank was empty it would be at the top, but things aren't working exactly the way they used to. So you pull this ring to shut it off. And the horse barn is still there, the stables are still there. They're not usable, they're like everybody's garage that gets filled with stuff, but this is to protect the sucker rod from the horses. Okay, now Edwin K. Parkhurst, remember he was Chelmsford Mill partner? Well, and he ran the Parkhurst store, and he also became the station agent for the railroad, the Lowell and Framingham Railroad. So on the side, he decided to do a little land developing, because here he is, the station agent. Everybody has to go through him to buy tickets, ship freight. Hey, you want to buy some land? So he had this survey drawn up here, 1875, 5 lots, directly across the street from, well, I should say this house that you see on the cover of the book was built on lot number 5 right here. It's across the street from the elder Parkhurst, Solomon Parkhurst house. And just to get oriented, this is a street called Road to Robbins Hill. They didn't start calling it High Street yet. This is Acton Road up here. And you can see that Dr. John Call Bartlett owned the land here, Sewell Parkhurst owned this. So it mentions in the book that between John Call Bartlett and the Parkhurst, they owned all of Acton and High Street. And I meant it when that was said. They really did own most of the land. And you'll see a picture in there before the development started. It was actually after this lot, so it was subdivided, but before the majority of the development. And that was all their land. This is Edwin Parkhurst's station agent business card here. And you can see the hill has been stripped of trees for firewood and lumber. And there was a lone pine tree at the top for many, many years. I saw a picture. I couldn't find it, or I would have showed you, when the tree lost all its needles, and eventually it fell over. So there is a fire tower there that the state owns right now. Now, this is his side business. He says, please examine the other side of this card. So when you go there, what do you get? You get his pitch, real estate in Chelmsford Center, and he's talking about those same 5 lots.